tonight is called Face Yourself. Get in that damn mirror. And this is what we're going to talk about. We say all the time, Yang, we talk about this all the time, that we say that our patience, our practice, listen, our entire lives come from us. It comes from us. And I'm going to ask you, how can you be good at anything? How can you excel in life, excel in practice, and excel as a chiropractor, excel at anything? How can you be good at anything if you can't be good at being yourself? Right? So I'm going to ask you guys through this entire class, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. All right? I'm going to ask you a series of questions. And as I'm asking them, I'm going to ask and then I'm going to pause. And I know some of you are not able to, a lot of you are. I hope that you're going to start writing some of these things down, and I want you to write them down, but I want you to compliment. But I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to pause for a second. I'm going to allow you to think about it for just a minute, and then we're going to kind of get in the middle of it. Some of these things are going to be a little uncomfortable to you probably, and they're intended to. I'm going to let you in on something. Everything I say tonight is things that I have got notes, I've got yellow pads, I got stuff strung anywhere, and things that I have read, listened to, watched, contemplated, wrote down, and asked myself. These are the things that I've been beating myself up over and will continue to shove down my own damn throat from this moment on. And so if you're ready, we're going to get in the middle of this. You ready for it? Questions? All right, Denise, are you ready? Here we go. Can anyone, I'm going to ask you, here's the first question. Can anybody on that outside look at you and know what you're about? Know what you're about. This is the pause. This is the awkward pause. I'm going to give you some odd examples of this. If you are sitting on the couch and you got a beer in one hand, a cigarette in the other, your guts hanging out the bottom of your shirt, you got a grease stain, you maybe even have a bowl of ice cream on your chest, and you're watching football, can anyone look at that and tell what that person is about? If you go into a gym and you see a guy that's 5'10", weighs about 265 pounds, about 6% body fat, he has veins everywhere, he's shredded to the freaking gills. Can you look at that individual and tell what he's about? Can you look at a lady? Let's say you're at a restaurant and a lady and a gentleman walks in, and she is dressed from head to toe perfectly. Nothing is out of place. Designer clothes, carrying an expensive bag. He has a suit on. He's wearing Gucci shoes. He's got a $50,000 Rolex. At a glance, you know what they're about. It's a big question, isn't it? Because you represent what you're about. You reflect what you're about. What is on the inside reflects, and that's what you're about. Can people look at you and know what you're about? That's the first question. That's something I want you guys to think about. Here's a really tough question. I'm going to go for the throat right now. We're going to jump right in the middle of it. Hey, Vic Kuchmaner, I hope your lovely wife is watching. Tell her I said hi. Here's the next question. Are you, and when I think I need to start by this. This video tonight, this class tonight, the things I'm saying are for you and about you, not me. I do it for me, but I want you to make this about you. Are you an asset or a liability to your family? I'm going to say it again. Every one of you listening to me right now. Are you a liability or an asset to your family? When things get tough, where do you run? Where do you go? What do you reach for? When things get tough, when you know what hits the fan, do you reach for things? Do you run to things that are destructive, that tear you down? Or do you reach for things, people, activities that build you up? It's a very valid question. How many times, and we've all done it, I'm guilty as the day is long. Rough day, rough week, rough thing, rough situation, bad. I need a drink. I need to get drunk. Really? That's what you run to. Or some people run to food. Some people run to alcohol. Some people run to drugs. Some people do all sorts of crazy things. I don't know how many times I've talked to some of you on the phone and people for years, and they go through the toughest situations in their life, and they reach out. They reach out. Hey, Brooke, real quick. Tammy Bilek is trying to log on. She said she's been kicked off. Will you deal with that for me, please? They have these tough things going through their life, but they don't reach out. They go in. They reserve. They don't call anybody. They don't ask for help. They don't talk to anybody. It is the saddest thing I've ever seen. And it's actually, if you think about it, it's disrespectful to your family. You become a liability to your family at that point. Look, we're all going to go through tough times. I'm going to got news for you. Listen to this. I've said this many times. Life never gets easier. Life will never, ever get easier. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how many patients you see. I don't care what you buy. I don't care. Life will never get easier. The earth will rotate and spin around the sun. It will. It's never going to change. Things will never change. The only thing that changes is you, and you get stronger. I use this silly ass analogy, but it made sense to me. You walk into the gym for the very first time and somebody puts a 500 pounds on a squat rack, and you look at that. That's stressful. That's hard. That's something you can't even wrap your mind around. You're not getting under that. But then you go in and you squat the bar. Then you put 20 pounds and then 50 pounds, and you keep working and you keep getting stronger. And one day you walk into the gym. It's the same weight. It's still 500 pounds. It's still stressful. It's still hard, but you can do it. You can back it out and you can squat 500 pounds because you're stronger. It's the same weight. Gang, life is the same. Nothing changes. It will always be hard. The only thing that changes is you. And it depends on who do you reach out to, right? Who do you reach out to? What do you reach for? What do you when things get tough, when it gets hard, when it gets heavy, do you run to the destructive, or do you run for something that builds you up? Are you an asset or a liability? Man, listen, gang, I'm going to be hard on you tonight. And these are the questions that you need to start asking yourself every single day. You don't have to. You don't have to. But your life will never change if you don't. Next question. What type of mental prison in this brain, because that's all that it is, it's what you've created. What kind of mental prison are you sitting in? Write that down. Is it a prison of self-pity? You are feeling sorry about your past. Many do that. It's a prison. Is it a prison of complacency? I'll do it later. That's good enough. You know what? It's good enough. I was thinking about this here recently. I did a talk out in Colorado to the Colorado Chiropractic Association. Some of you were there. And during my talk, and you've all heard me do this sometimes too, I kind of was getting their attention. I said, I want you all to understand something. I am the very best chiropractor on the planet. I'm the best. And I'm looking at the faces. And there was a couple there that kind of knew what I was doing. But the other ones were shock and awe that I made that comment. Like, I can't believe he just said that. And then I said, everyone in this room should feel that way. If you don't feel that you're the very best chiropractor on the planet, then who are you? And then why aren't you at least attempting to be that? Because your patients, your family deserve it. It's that complacency. I'm good enough. Good enough is good enough. Listen, no more. Gang, if you're a foundation member from this moment on, some of you may quit after tonight. You may drop your membership. I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to be here either if I'm living in complacency. I wouldn't want no part of this. And I promise you, moving forward, you're not going to want no part of this. We've had doctors drop in this group many times, and I get the same message back. I'm going to try to save a little money. I'm just trying to save some money. I'll be back. Are you freaking kidding me with this? I'm giving you the freaking tools how to make an extra $20,000 a month, and you're going to try to save $349 a month. That's complacency. Self-negotiation. How many times do you guys negotiate yourself out of things? I should get up and go to the gym, but you know what? Yeah, I'll do it later. I should watch Foundation 1. I should go back and watch the adjusting videos. You know what? I don't really need to. We had a pretty good day yesterday, and last year wasn't bad. It wasn't a record year. It was okay. You're negotiating. You're self-negotiating yourself out of being who you should be. You're removing the person that can be, and you're putting in the person that is, because you're negotiating it. Do you self-negotiate? Is that a prison you live in? Are you living in a prison of your health? Good God, how many, you guys listen. I know some of you, Amelia freaking Rodrock, you psycho. You're such an inspiration. You work so hard. Derek Legg, you're a freak. There's so many of you guys. I get it. I'm preaching to the choir here. But how many patients do you see walk through your door and they are living in a prison of their own health? I had a new patient come in this last week, the father of some patients that I've been seeing forever. He's 60, like middle, late 60s. He's probably easily 50 pounds overweight. And he said, Doc, my daughter said I need to ask you about this. I'm a type 2 diabetic and I'm on this medication. It makes me have to pee all the time. He said, I'd like to get off of it. She said there might be something that you can do to help me. I said, there is. I'm going to take the stress off your spine. I'm going to allow the brain to communicate to 740 trillion tissue cells in your body, but I'm going to help you even more. I'm going to be honest with you. How about that? I'm going to tell the truth. He said, I'm listening. I said, you're going to need to drink 10 glasses or a gallon of water a day, and you're going to need to start walking every day, and you're going to need to stop eating sugar. And when I mean sugar, I mean all sugar, all carbs, no fruit, no potatoes, no rice, no sugar, period. You are carb free until you lose another 50 pounds. And it is not a should, it's a must. And if you do that, you can get off this medication and get your life back, but you don't have to. Quit freaking negotiating. What kind of prison do these people live, and are you doing that? I don't know. I'm not judging you guys. I want you to judge yourself. Listen, it's time to start getting in the mirror and getting pissed off. It just is. Start judging yourself. Are you negotiating? Are you living in a prison in your own freaking brain because you're freaking, you're living self-pity, oh poor me, get the hell over it, or your complacency because everything is good enough. No, it's not. No, it's not. It never will be. Are you negotiating your health? Like, really? And here's the thing. I've done it. I am freaking as guilty. Everything I'm telling you guys about, I am pissed off at myself because I've done it. I've gotten away with it. Hell, since my whole life, I've had this weird ass metabolism, eat anything, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? It's crap and it's wrong. And I want you guys to start looking in the mirror and going, you're wrong. And we're going to get even deeper into this. Your relationships. Are you living in a prison of a relationship? Mainly the one with yourself. Do you just not like you very damn much? Or are you in a relationship that is this toxic, that just is wrong? And here's the thing, I know this to be fact. Tony Robbins, Shannon and I were at a Tony Robbins seminar, and he said this several years ago, and it just burnt in my brain. And you guys have all heard me say it. The way, or what you do if you do in the end what you did in the beginning, there will never be an end. If you did in the end what you did in the beginning, there will never be an end. And I'm going to tell you, some of you, listen to me, I'm being hard on you, I don't care, you need to hear it. You dated in the beginning, you were in love in the beginning, you said the right things in the beginning, and along the way you quit doing it. You are not doing now what you did, and this is what you got. Now, it's not always the case, don't get me wrong, I understand that people change, and there's a dynamic, and maybe people don't change, that's who they were, and their true self comes out over time, who knows? I'm just saying that if you're living in a mental prison and you're living in a toxic relationship with yourself or anyone else, it might even be a spouse, or it might be a coworker, it might be a friend. I talked to some of you, I talked to one of you here recently that told me that that the hardest thing they've got to do is they've got some close personal friends that are going through tough times, and so they're drinking and they're doing everything I've been talking about. And they're like, but they're my friends, and I don't know how to handle all this. It's because you're living in a freaking prison of this friendship. It's not worth it, guys. It's not worth it. All right, I'm going to tell you something. Mediocrity, being mediocre is a punishment for the weak. It just is. It is. And I've been punished, and you've all been punished, but we're going to stop it. I want you guys to have wins all day. Every day, I want you to have wins. And a win could be, get up earlier. If you're getting up at 7, get up at 6. That's an hour. Think about this. If you get up at 7 o'clock every day, that's 7 days a week, okay, and you get up an hour earlier, right? That's an hour. That's 7 hours a week. That is 28 hours a month that you gain back. That's a freaking win. Don't eat the freaking donut. You have a choice between making a protein shake or eating this crap over here, and you choose this. That's a win. Make you a cup of coffee in the morning. Drink your coffee. Go to the sink and wash the damn thing and put it up. Don't just leave it in the sink for someone else to wash. That's a win. Fold your towels. Read. Oh my God. Read 15 minutes at least every day. Non-negotiable. Get out of your mental prison. Listen to motivational things. We're going to get into this a little bit more. I want you all to write this down. If you're not writing it down, I want you to burn it into your brain. This next thing coming is going to, well, I hope rattle you. You are, every one of you listen to me, I'm looking right into your soul right now. You are paying for your habits, or your habits are paying you. Live with that. Live with it. You are paying for what you're doing, or what you're doing is paying you. Which one do you want? You know how you hear speakers and people and all these things, they say, get up every morning and write a list of what you're grateful for. Just be grateful. Write a list of what you're grateful for. You know what? I call bullshit on that. I do not want you to write down what you're grateful for. I'm grateful for the sunlight. I am grateful for having a roof over my head. I am grateful for new shoes. Are you kidding me with this crap? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to get up every morning, and I want you to write down everything that you regret from the day before. Everything. Everything. When you write down what you're grateful for, and you have to write it down, you don't live in gratitude. Gratitude is action. You're taking action on what you're grateful for. Writing it down is weak. It's a weakness. Writing down what you regret the day before and you're fixing it, that's strength. I'm going to say it again. Just simply writing down what you're grateful for. Most of you don't even do that, but if you do, you're weak. You're creating weakness. Gratitude is action. If you're grateful for something, listen, if you're grateful for the amazing wife that you have, then you take action. You let her know, you show her, you show up, damn it. If you're grateful for your children, you're present, you show up. But if you don't, you write that down and you regret it and you fix it. That's strength. Listen, here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to start working. This is a major goal. Become the opposite of everything you despise. Be the opposite of what you hate. If you do not like lazy people, then damn it, don't be lazy. If you despise fat people, then don't be fat. If you despise beggars, then be a giver, right? I don't know. Whatever it is in your life that you see that you despise or you hate, be the opposite. Guys, listen. These negative thoughts, these things that enter your mind that you're allowing to live rent-free in your brain, they create disease. You guys know that, right? Your thoughts turn into words, words turn into flesh. And what's interesting is what I've learned is your positive thoughts and your negative thoughts, and we see that. James Cooper, thank you for sharing that. James shared an amazing story. Patients know your positive actions, your positive thoughts, the things that you're working on, you get up every day with wins, and you're creating what you love, not what you hate. That creates a vibration. That creates positive thoughts. That is where healing comes from. I've had patients walk in my office and I'll never forget, walk in and they stop and they open their arms and go, I feel better just being here. Where does that come from? And I want you guys to understand that everything I'm talking about, it's not about you. Damn it, it's not about you. It's about everyone else, right? Our job on this planet is to decrease the amount of net suffering in the world. With all of our talents. That's what our job is. And we're going to do that by controlling our thoughts and our emotions, our brain, and creating a vibration, creating an energy that is a healing aura, not a destructive aura. All right? Find the hardest thing you can do. Whatever the hardest thing you can do is, find that and turn it into a weapon. I can't run. Well, walk until you can. I'm experiencing that right now. Your weakness is communicating a proper consultation report. Then do it. Get to the office 30 minutes, 45 minutes early every morning and watch a video and then do it to your CA. Watch a video, do a consultation with your CA in the morning, in the afternoon, every single day. Do it with your wife. Do it with your kids. Find your best friend. You guys get together. We're going to talk about that. Consultation, report, exams, over and 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 over until your weakness becomes your weapon. Like when somebody walks into your office and they're like, you know what? I don't want x-rays. Oh, that's okay. I understand. If you need me, let me know. And you open the door. Because before you would go, I'll do it for free. Well, we can adjust you anyway. We're not going to lose you. It's your weakness. Now it's your weapon. Patient comes through. Man, I just have a real hard time telling them 32 visits. Well, that's because you're weak. What's your weakness is because you don't have self-certainty. But now you understand why is it that you say 32? Because it's more appropriate, it's more respectful to tell them the truth and deliver on the truth than it is to freaking lie to them and make them feel better about themselves. Now you're stronger. Now you have strength. Now it's your weapon. So when they walk through the door, you deliver a report of findings so certain, so powerful that they go up. Not only do they pay in full, they bring their wife in and they pay in full for her. Turn your strength or turn your weakness into a freaking weapon. And it doesn't matter what it is. And I want you to sit down and write everything down that you regret, but I also want you to write down all your weaknesses, the things that you know you're weak in, and be honest. Here's the thing. When I tell you guys all to tell the truth and deliver on the truth, tell yourself the truth. Quit freaking lying to yourself and negotiating and bullshitting yourself into thinking that it's okay if I say that all these things are great and I don't believe them, but if I say them, it's going to be okay. It's wrong. Man, it is wrong. Listen. This frequency that I'm talking about, this energy, this healing positive energy that will reduce the amount of net suffering in the world, and that's our job. It's a frequency. And your frequency is what you frequently see. I'm going to say it again. The vibration and the frequency that you become and you transmit to the world, the frequency is what you frequently see. It's what I've told you guys before. Instead of waiting and believing what you see, right? You know what? If I put my shoes on and I go outside and I run a mile, well then I'll believe it when I see it. No. What I want you to do is I want you to start seeing, or I want you to start believing what you see. I want you to start believing in what you believe. I know for a fact, without a shadow of a doubt, I'm going to run a mile and then go do it. That's what, listen, I'm going to say it again. Your frequency is what you frequently see. Everything you create in your life is what you see on a consistent basis. Don't back off. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. The growth you're looking for, the life you're looking for is on the other side of everything you're not doing. I'm going to say that again. Every single one of you, I know it to be a fact. If not, it makes me curious. It makes me wonder why in the hell that you're in this group in the first place. You're here because you're looking for the answers. You're gathering tools. You're looking for knowledge. You want to be a part of something that's going to allow you to grow. And if that's not the case, I don't know why you're here. And everything you're looking for is on the backside of everything you're not doing. And you know it. You guys got to be realistic with yourself. Quit lying to yourself. Start talking to yourself like I'm talking to you. Are you doing the videos? Are you doing workshops? Listen, I don't know how many of you in this group that have been in this group for 3 or 4 years that's never been to a workshop. Now, some of you have been to every single one of them, and you know why. Your actions reflect what you're doing, right? But some of you need to start being more accountable, getting accountability groups. Some of you are watching the videos on a regular basis. Tyler and Nathan, Tyler Bowden and Nathan Barberia. I talked to Tyler this morning. He said they got on the phone, I guess this last week, and one's in Springfield, one's in Oklahoma City, and they got together and they started just beating each other up over their year last year. And what happened was they're not beating. When I say beating each other up, like they both know they let themselves down, and so they were accountable to each other, and they were honest and they told the truth. And man, the growth that these two guys are going to have this year. And if you have a hard time telling yourself the truth, get on a coaching call with me. I'll tell you the truth, or call someone else in a group. Right? This is what we got to start doing. I'm going to tell you all this. I believe that successful people, successful doctors, and the majority of you, 99% of you in this group, some of you are still students, some of you just opened your practice, some of you are still trying to get the ball rolling. I get it. But the majority of you in this group, in the scope of the entire profession, are in the top 10%. So with all respect, you are extremely successful. So I'm going to say that successful chiropractors, successful people that do not share their success, do not share where they received their success and how they achieved it. They're the most selfish people on the freaking planet. People that achieve great wealth, they learn and they hoard it to themselves are awful people, in my opinion. They're selfish, and it's going to come back to haunt them. I'm going to share a little quick story with you that when I wrote this down, it come back up. Some of you that are listening to this right now were actually in the group that I'm getting ready to talk about. Many, many years ago, this was 2001. I was a part of another coaching group. And this other coaching group, they gave awards every year. They gave awards for Sponsor of the Year, someone who sponsored a lot of people to this coaching group. They gave Doctor of the Year. They did all these different things, right? Well, what year was it? 2001. In 2001, I was awarded Sponsor of the Year. I had sponsored over 65 doctors, chiropractors, to this group. I would literally walk into a chiropractor's office I didn't know, introduce myself, tell them that I was going to take them to lunch. They didn't have a choice. Jason Levette. And I got them. And here's the thing. I didn't get paid for that. I didn't gain anything. I tell you, I gained everything from that. And so here's what happened. That night, there was an award ceremony. There was an after party. After the awards, there was a big after party. And there was just 2 bottles of Dom Perignon champagne on this table. One was for Sponsor of the Year and one's for Doctor of the Year. And it was this big event. We don't do that because I think somebody who goes from 20 a week to 50 a week is just as important, just as successful as somebody seeing 500. That's what I believe. But with that being said, that's my story. So this big bottle of champagne was for me. All right. Well, it wasn't about me, and I knew it wasn't about me. And this was a long time ago. So what I did is I got the staff, the hotel staff that we were at, to bring out a bunch of champagne glasses. And I went up front, and the band, I asked the band to borrow the mic, and I said, listen, anyone in the room that I had any part of sponsoring or helping since I've been here, please join me. I'd like to do a toast to you. Gang? It was one of the most powerful emotional moments up to that point in my life. Here's why. There were so many people that they had to go get extra glasses. I don't know how many were there, but there was a lot. There's a huge crowd. And what we had to do is just put a drop of champagne in everybody's glass so there would be enough. And right before I toasted, I looked at the crowd and there were wives crying. There were doctors, men, female doctors crying. And then I started to cry. It was literally one of the most powerful things. Why I'm sharing this with you is the feeling that I received by going out of my way. I would literally spend my own money, fly to another state, get a hotel room, just to go to a doctor's office, just to spend a day there to help them with what I had learned. If you don't believe me, ask Shannon. She thought I was crazy at the time because she's like, "You're going to do what?" I was like, "Well, they need help." So I went. And then Shannon, I don't know how many times she would cook dinners or lunches, and we would bring doctors to our home and just expose them to what we were creating. And this is when we were seeing 200 a week, right? Gang, give what you wish to receive. Give what you wish to receive. I was listening to something here recently. A thought leader, motivational, not really motivational speaker, a thought leader, a life coach, and he made this comment. He said he was at the Edinburgh Castle in Edinburgh, Scotland, him and his wife, and he said they were reading about the history and how many wars and how many people died defending that castle. And he said, it occurred to me that every single conflict and every war that we have ever experienced on this planet was created by somebody or a group of people taking from someone else. They're going to take over this country. They're going to take over this castle. They're going to take over these people. They're going to take over this political party. And when you live in a world of constantly take, it's destructive. And here's what we've got to learn to do. We've got to turn this around, and we have got to start becoming human beings, us, of giving. We've got to create a world of giving, not taking. And I need you to understand something. There's a huge difference between receiving and taking. If I put forth positive intention into the universe, if I intentionally serve another human being, if I intentionally serve the human race, if I'm intentionally giving of myself, what I'm doing is I'm giving I'm giving away what I want to receive, then I receive. And the universe and God gives it back. You receive. It's a gift. You didn't take it, you received it. Understand that. Do not feel guilty about being hugely successful in your practice, James Rose, because you are giving the biggest heart in Oklahoma. That big old country boy heart is delivering adjustments from his soul. You are delivering and you're giving and you are receiving the life that you deserve. This is what happens, you guys, and we've got to make sure we're crystal clear on that. All right. Big deep breath. I hope you all are feeling what I'm feeling. So, how to be good at being you. If we've all agreed that for the most part, we all can do a better job at being us, I'm going to give you just a few things to write down, contemplate, think about. This list could be a million, but just here's some things that jumped out at me, things I'm working on. How to be good at being you. Tell the truth. Deliver on the truth. Tell the truth to yourself first. Be honest with yourself about everything. Quit negotiating. Quit lying to yourself. Tell the truth. Then Deliver on that. When you do that, you take that everywhere you go. Get up earlier. You guys, Christy Roddy, we had this conversation, didn't we, sister? And I'm not telling you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, some of you do get up early. Some of you get up like I do at 4 o'clock. But some of you are getting up just in time to get your clothes on and run to the office and walk in before you start seeing patients. So it's a loss. I'm telling you, you want to be a better view? Get up earlier. I don't know how many times. I had a conversation with somebody here recently and said, I just don't have time. And I respectfully said, I understand. You're much busier than I am. Well, I didn't say that. There's no way I'm busier than you. I have time. Eat better. Again, I feel like a freaking hypocrite, but what I do is I get up every day and I think about the things I regret, and a lot of it is what I regret is what I ate the day before, but I know that did not serve me, right? I was telling Shannon this the other day. We were talking. I said, God, I remember years ago that I used to go to this place called Earl's, which was a barbecue place. They had the best, biggest ass, greasy bacon cheeseburger with jalapenos on it and a big thing of curly fries and baked beans, and I'd always get a side of hot link, and I mowed all that at lunch. Of course, I weighed 240 pounds, but it doesn't matter. And I would eat that, and then I would wonder why at 3 o'clock I'm crashing and I feel like I'm about to get hit by a bus. Did that serve anything? No. This is stupid. So if you want to be a better you, if you want to be a better version of you, eat better. Start exercising. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's cycling, walking, working out, CrossFit. I don't care. Do something. Here's what I'm going to tell you guys to do. Do what you hate. You want to start winning? Do what you hate. And do it every day. And push yourself through it. Because what happens is when you win, let's say you hate to run. You hate to run. You would rather somebody take a bat and hit you in both knees than to run. But you get on a treadmill or you go outside and you set your thing and you force yourself to run a mile. When that mile gets done, you're going to freaking do this. You won. You did something you hate. You take that same attitude, you take that same energy, that same vibration that I was talking about, your frequency goes to another level to everything you do. And it doesn't matter what it is. I don't care what it is you hate to do it anyway. I heard this here recently, and it hit me. It was really profound. Shannon and I, one of our favorite things in the world to do is go to Vail, Colorado, and go skiing, right? And I love it for so many reasons. But when I read this, then I think it really hit me hard. If you want to experience presence, like, when I tell you guys being present with your patients or being present with your family without distraction, if you want to experience presence, get in nature. Think about that for a minute. Get on the side of a mountain when it's snowing with the trees and snow, and it's just that's all there is. Nature has no memory of the past. It has no anticipation for the future. It is. It just is. I think animals are that way. I was thinking about this before. We had a boxer for 17 years, Tito. We got him when he was a puppy, when Arian was little, and he was our family, right? We lost him a couple of years ago. But I was thinking about it was funny when I would watch old videos with him and Arian when Arian was a little boy, and he was just sitting next to Arian, and I mean, those two were so present with each other. And Tito, he didn't remember even what he did 5 minutes ago, and he definitely didn't care what was happening next. He was with his boy right there. That was so, and as I think about it, the most beautiful, powerful display of presence. If you really want to be a better view, a better you, get in nature. Get away, man. Get out in the woods. Get out in the mountains. Get on a river. Go somewhere by yourself and be in nature and experience being alone in nature. Experience what true presence is. Think about it, acknowledge it, accept it, put it in your heart and take it with you. I think you'll become a better you. Every day, be kind to everyone, but at least be kind to someone. This morning, and I wrote this after I got back to the gym this morning. I had this thing done for a while, and I added this. And I didn't do this. I didn't do this to write it down. This is just what happened. I'm in the gym this morning, and I got my headset in, and I'm working out, and I noticed another guy in the gym. And I noticed it because he come right over where I was working out, and he wasn't out of shape. He was in fairly good shape, but he was walking like he was getting ready for a bodybuilding show, and it was kind of comical, kind of crap. And I remember thinking to myself, that's funny. But he was in there at 4:30. He was getting after it, right? Well, and anyway, and I didn't think about it. So I go into the locker room and I get my stuff. I put my jacket on, and I look over. And he is putting his stuff on, and he looks up at me and he acknowledges me and gives me a thumbs up, like, hey, we're here early. We did it. We won. And as I'm walking out, I thought to myself, that was pretty cool. And I was still listening to the podcast I was listening to, so I didn't talk to him or anything. Well, anyway, he's following me out, and I see him in the reflection of the glass. Well, when I get to the door, I wait. And I open the door and I wait for him. And he sees me doing it, and he kind of runs. And he comes up, and I take my earphone out, and I hand bump him, and I said, you killed it today. Great job. And he goes, thanks. You too. See you next time. And he left. And I got in the car, and I'm laughing to myself, and I'm like, how cool was that? It made me feel great. And I didn't do it so I could share it with you guys. I did it because it just occurred to me, okay, first of all, I'm kind of being an asshole upstairs, kind of making fun of the guy a little bit because it was kind of funny the way he was acting. Not really making fun of him, but laughing to myself. We all do that. It's shitty, but we do. But you know what? Just acknowledging another human being and saying, great job. You're here early. You got it done. I felt like I had a win. I got my work. So did, I don't know. Be kind. Be kind to everybody, damn it. You want to be a better you, be kind to others. I said it already, well, I'm going to say it again. Make a list of everything you failed at the day before and commit to never failing at that again. And that's being honest with yourself. Tell yourself the truth and deliver on it. This is what I mean. How about this? Every day, meet someone new. Introduce yourself to someone new. Say hi to someone new. I don't care if it's a waiter or a waitress, a bartender, somebody at the gym, a new patient. It doesn't matter. Meet somebody new every day. Get out of your comfort zone and quit making it about you and make it about them. How about this? Y'all ready? Listen more. Listen more. I want every one of you to read this book. If you've read it, read it again. How to Win Friends and Influence People. I read this thing for the 5th time, and it was like I read it for the first time, and this whole book is highlighted with notes. You're going to hear a lot of this stuff at the workshop because I'm making a whole class out of this. Listen more. You want to be a better you, better version of you? Listen more. Every day, send a message to someone and let them know how much you appreciate them or love them. Every single day, send a text message, write a note, whatever, call somebody. Hey, I just wanted to let you know I appreciate you. I just wanted you to know that I love you. I just wanted you to know I was thinking about you. I did it to 3 people this morning. I do it probably, I don't want to lie to you. I probably don't do it every single day. I'm going to start since now I'm telling you. But it's a simple message. Hey, Tyler Bowden, love you, brother. Appreciate you. Thanks for being my friend. How hard is that? You want to be a better you? Think about others more. Read at least 15 minutes every day. Do not tell me you don't have time. If any of you if we're on the phone and you tell me you don't have time to read 15 minutes, I'm going to hang up on you. Because then if you tell me that, I don't have time to have a conversation with a bullshit artist that's lying to themselves. Because I promise you, you do have time. I promise you, you do have time. You're not making time. Get up 15 minutes earlier. How about that? Read. Now listen, don't get up and read the Wall Street Journal. Don't get up and read something stupid. Get up and read Ratledge Philosophy. Get up and read Hyper Focus. Get up and read $100 Million Offers by Alex Ramosi. Get up and read, just read stuff that's going to improve who you are. Listen to personal development videos and audios. Remove political garbage from your mind and from your life. I had a patient come in tonight, David. He's been a patient of mine for years. Gosh, probably 25 years. And I'm going to admit something to you. I went down the stupid political rabbit hole last year. It wasted and destroyed so much of my life. It just did. I'll never get those hours back that I watched, Tucker Carlson or Dan Bongino or just crap, right? I would get so upset. And then David would come in and, what do you think about the election, Doc? What do you think about these midterms? Because he's so political. And he said, what do you think about these midterms? And this is, before the midterms. And I'm hopeful, David. I hope, I really believe, I strongly believe. And then I watched what happened during the midterms. And it disgusted me. And I'm like, and then it dawned on me, you're an idiot. You're a freaking idiot. You think that your thoughts and emotions about this was going to make a difference in the outcome, and it doesn't. And David asked me what I was thinking tonight, and I said, David, I'm going to tell you something. I love you and I appreciate you. We've been friends a long time. And I said, but I have removed myself from all of it. I said, here's how I look at it, David. I finally realized this. I am disgusted about being fat, but I'm going to keep eating jelly donuts. But being fat upsets me, but I'm going to keep eating jelly donuts. I said, it's exactly the same thing. I'm disgusted about what's going on in the world, but I'm going to keep listening to this crap that all it does is make it worse. I said, David, what I decided to do, I'm going to be the brightest light I could possibly be and walk into the darkest room. And it's not going to get light by listening to that. And David's like, he's great. You need to meet David. He's like 74 years old and still chases girls. That's his mission. He just chases girls all the time. And he's like, Doc, that's probably one of the best things you've ever said to me. And he shook my hand and walked out. And I'm not kidding. Damn it, remove the political crap from your brain because it doesn't matter. Unless you're running for office, who cares? Because your opinion will not change. Look, know enough to vote. And other than that, be positive. All right, that's enough of that. All of you, date your spouse or your significant other. If you're with somebody, date them. I had somebody tell me recently that they just didn't have time to date. And I just about lost my cool. Shannon and I have been together 28 years. And I'm going to tell you this, and she will tell you this. Other than if she's out of the country or I'm out of the country, there's been a few times through the years that we have not even been in the same vicinity of each other for over a week. It's been rare, but it happens. Other than that, we have never, ever missed a date night. Now, Doc, you don't understand. You don't understand me. I'm just in a different season of my life than you are. We have 2 kids, and I'm trying to build a practice. I love when I get the, you don't understand, I'm in a different season, you wouldn't get it crap. Raising 3 kids, building a practice, owning 10 to 12 rental properties, running the household, going to football practice, going to gymnastic practice, going to wrestling practice, going to Girl Scouts, going to the coaching meetings that I was a part of, traveling. Both her and I, Shannon, both competitive bodybuilders at the gym. I mean, we're laughing. Back then, the only television we ever watched was 10 to 10:30. We watched David Letterman before we went to bed. That was all it. Homework. I mean, and we never missed a date night. So don't you ever tell me you do not have time. You're not making time. And it is one of the most important things you can do is date, connect, listen, raise each other's vibration, because what you are on the inside is what you create on the outside. And I'm going to tell you, if you are in love, if you have love in your heart, if you have love in your life, if you have a loving spouse that you love each other, you take that to your office, and when you deliver an adjustment, that's what comes from you. But I don't have time, and you don't have that connection, and you don't have that emotion, and that's not in you, and you go to your office and you wonder why your practice suffers. Last thing. When you wake up in the morning, you're laying in bed, and you either wake up or your alarm goes off. I tell you what's crazy is, I want to say because I'm passionate and I'm on mission, but I have a feeling it's just because I'm getting older. I wake up at 4 o'clock every morning, a little after 4. I wake up. I don't need an alarm. And I really think it's just, that's what they say happens. Doesn't matter. You're laying there and you open your eyes, you take a great big deep breath, and you raise up and you turn, and when your 2 feet hit the floor, every day for the rest of your life from now on, it is as if when your feet hit the floor, someone flipped the light switch on. This is what's going to happen. And that light switch is in your brain, and when the light comes on, this is what you see. This is what you read. You can close your eyes, you can open your eyes. When your feet hit the floor, the way I do anything is the way I do everything. And before you stand, you say that, you read that, you hear that in your brain. And there is no complacency. There is no negotiation. It is a must, not a should. You read it, you hear it, you say it, and you stand up and you take that first step, and everything you do the rest of the day is based off of the way you do anything is the way you do everything. And if you fail, and you will, we all do, we're human, and I do it daily. And I get up and I say that to myself. I make my coffee. I walk in here. I get my headphones in, and I start thinking about, I really shouldn't have said that. And it can be as simple as a patient comes in and we had a conversation that was so ridiculous that had nothing to do with why they're there, and they said one thing and I said another, and then we just fed each other's fire. The next thing you know, it's 7 minutes. A 1 minute adjustment took 7 minutes, and I regret that. I regret it. And so I'm going to write it down, and I'm not going to let it happen today. And if it does, I'm going to fix it, and I'm going to keep working on it and keep working on it. Gang, do you want to be a better version of you? Do you want to create the best you that could possibly exist and give that person to the world? Adam, you know where that comes from. Do you want to create the best version of you? Do you want to be the person that reduces the amount of net suffering in the world? Is that who you are? Or are you a taker? Are you a giver or are you a taker? Your world, the environment that you live in, the relationships that you have, the life that you live, the practice that you have, the patients that come see you, come 100% from what is on the inside. So let's start working on being a better version of you. You got it? Now I'm going to talk to you all in the morning. Okay? I'm not taking questions tonight. If you guys have questions, message them to me and I'll get them right back to you. I'm not going to do it tonight because we're running late already. We're right at 8 o'clock. But if you have a question, you send it straight to me, and I promise you, first thing in the morning, I'll get it back to you. I want you all on a call in the morning. I want every one of you to commit to being at the workshop in March. I hope I see the majority of you in London for the retreat, but I want everybody to commit Don't give me excuses. I don't want to hear complacency. I don't want to hear this crap. I want you at the damn workshop in March. Not only do I want you at the workshop, I don't want you to be freaking selfish, and I want you to bring somebody. You're successful. You're killing it. Why not share that? Right? What do we say? A rising tide floats all boats? Okay, well, what does that mean exactly? Yes? Everybody, I can't see you. You can see me. I'm nodding my head. You better be nodding your head. We're going to raise the level. I'm not going to allow any of you in my space to let yourself down. I'm going to hold myself to a brand new standard. I went into the office yesterday and this morning, and I set my staff down, my girls down, and I said, I apologize to you. I looked them in the face and I said, I apologize to you. I let you down last year. I let you down. I wasn't 100% of what I could have been, but I promise you I will be this year. I will not let you down again. But with that being said, I'm going to hold myself to a higher standard, and I'm going to hold you to a higher standard. I'm going to hold this office to a higher standard because we're better than that. And they both shook their heads and said, I understand. Game on. I'm telling you all, I will hold myself to a higher standard. I'm going to hold you to a higher standard. Don't think that I'm not here to hold your hand and change your diaper. What I'm here for is to tell you the damn truth and lead you in a way to deliver on that truth. Are you with me? I want the comments to blow up. I want you all to go on our Facebook page, and I want you to blow it up on what this night meant to you. I want you to go on your Facebook and blow it up. I want you to tell the world who you are, what you're going to do, and how you're going to do it. I love you all. Have an amazing night, and I'll talk to you guys in the morning. Good night.